Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
This week at the University of Texas versus the University of Georgia football game, the referees made a terrible interference call on Texas. Then, the fans threw all kinds of bottles on the field. So, the referees had a conference and reversed their call. If that is the new policy in the SEC, LSU will never get a call against them at home again. Seriously, these maniacs will throw everything from boudin balls to offshore drill bits on the field after an offsides call. SEC referees, you've created a monster. And speaking of bad calls and inappropriate behavior, this is Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
1.
Woohoo!
Da, 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 da. America. Did you miss this? You might have.
Yeah, I think some people did.
You might have missed this. So that was on me. Hey, but you are
You're welcome.
welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. All right, it's a week later than we normally would have popped. That's on me. That's on.
You were working.
That was totally on me. I can't. Juan was ready. Juan was ready to drop whatever he was doing. I just had one of those rare week. I say it's a rare week. I had one of these weekends that everything kind of stacked up. Had a couple things I told my wife we would do. Didn't want to, sort of got to do that every now and then.
Yeah. My wife even said last week, she said, what are the Texans playing at home? What's going on?
I know. But I just want everybody, and you know who you are. I was telling Juan right before we came on, it's amazing how many people give me either questions or grief about, you're not doing a podcast this week? I'm like, how many people get something free and then complain?
Yeah, exactly.
But I get you.
Well, I think there are a lot of people, getting free stuff. Well, it's not free. I'm paying for it, through the government. Complain about.
They're getting it, but it is good to be back with you, America. Time stamping this. This is a Sunday afternoon. Normally we would say the Saints, just finished the Saints game, but the Saints actually got to display.
Right. I think the Saints finished their season couple of days ago.
The Saints got to display themselves in all their glory on Thursday Night Football against the.
Look, if you listen to this for a while, I'm diehard, man. No matter what.
I forget who beat him now. I forget who.
Sean Payton and
yeah.
Broncos.
Yeah.
I shut it off at the end of the third quarter. I said, there's no reason for me to watch this humiliation and lose sleep over it.
It was
in their defense. They got half of the team seems to be hurt.
Well, same thing with my Texans right now. But I mean, being hurt doesn't mean it could be like a tad bit lack of effort.
Yeah.
Richard Sherman at halftime suggested that it looked like the team was trying to get Dennis Allen fired.
Yeah. Well,
now with the text messages I get from friends.
I did see stuff floating around on Friday afternoon that looked official, that the Saints were holding an open tryout on Saturday at the training facility. For players.
No.
Like I'm saying, I don't know if it's legit.
Right, I'm about to say, no, in today's time, that was probably AI. You would have thought after that game.
Yeah, they could have. I told my wife that. She said, well, so like you could go try out? I said, it's not that open.
It's not that. They do an eye test right off the bat. Like, I think you're okay there, Sparky. But I don't know who thought, I guess earlier in the season, it looked like it was a good idea to do this. It was Drew Brees night.
Oh gosh. Yeah. And I guess it's because, Peyton was there
but what a beat down. The Broncos come to town with their rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Going up against the Saints rookie quarterback. And you found out quickly why he was chosen in the 5th round. Mm-hmm. There was quite, and he may turn into something.
Right.
Man, would you ever thought you were missing Jameis?
I don't know. The Browns put Jameis on. They made him the third string quarterback today because
Yeah, because they don't want anybody because they are playing Deshaun Watson to get him hurt. That's their only goal in life, is to try to get Deshaun Watson hurt so they can possibly get out from that contract. But no,
yeah. What's the meme? Deshaun has more settled lawsuits this year than touchdown passes.
correct. That's so there you go, Saints fans. If you're feeling bad, hey, you're not Cleveland. Okay, you're not Cleveland, but that was terrible. The only thing more to me annoying than, again, it was an ugly game. They gave Drew his whatever at halftime. Now I had friends, and my mother-in-law is a diehard Saints fan, was upset that Amazon was not playing much of the or any of the induction ceremony, and I'm saying
It's a local thing,
I
man.
know.
Yeah.
You think the rest of the country gives a squat? Of course, the conversation at the desk during halftime is not exactly scintillating. You just say,
Yeah.
okay, let's see. But I did see that clip where Drew, and I saw beforehand, it might have been you that sent it to me, or it might have been my friend Gavin, about this chant that Drew had at halftime.
He did that before. I didn't know who that was.
The heck was that?
Apparently, everybody in the dome seemed to know it.
I thought it was a joke. They had a video of him saying what he was, 1, 2, and I could count.
I swear, I never remembered hearing that.
Myself, I thought it was. I was waiting for it to be a joke. I was like, figured it could.
When he was saying we're gonna do this, I thought he was just gonna do the big who dat thing. But
what I thought, but
yeah, because
no.
I went back and I watched it with closed captions on it,
Right.
on social media, and I said no, didn't
Well,
strike
let's put
a
it behind
chord
us.
at
So
all.
there you go. That was part of our job, is to we'll get the sports right out of the way for the look. So Saints, there you go. Good luck. I don't know what's next, but glad I saw them early. I went to the first game of the year where we fooled ourselves into thinking, man, this is going to be a year.
It was a great 2 weeks, man.
It was an awesome 2 weeks. Well, it is over. 2-5, and we're heading there. Now, the other thing going on, just probably wrapped up not long before we came on here today, is what I might consider the greatest political troll in I don't know, in history. It's hard to say in history because it's happened before. But when I say troll, I'm not talking trawl, right? You know, with your Teds and pull the boat.
I'm trolling for shrimp.
Not talking about trawling, bro. I'm talking about trolling. So our past president, Mr.
Potentially
Trump,
future.
potentially, if you look at the betting odds are that he will be the future. But today, put in a little time,
Right.
working at a McDonald's.
Say put in, and 15 minutes may not sound like a lot, but I just figured he was gonna step back there and pull the fries out of the grease one time.
Oh, he was enjoying himself.
Yeah.
He was working the window, talking to people.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So there were thousands of people lined up on the road and stuff as he came into town somewhere in Pennsylvania. I forget the town in Pennsylvania. And the reason this happened, folks, is that our vice president, who is also running for president right now, I think it was something ongoing. She'd done it quite a bit, but I know she mentioned it. It was on camera in front of whoever.
Yeah.
And she claims that she used to work at McDonald's.
She's of the people, Dave.
Okay. But that's her claim, that she worked at a McDonald's. Well, here's the deal. McDonald's keeps very good records. It's a chain, and one of their bragging points, one of the things that they actually run commercials on, is how many successful people today began.
Right. That's the point I was gonna make. Forget having to go back into HR records. If having come from working in a restaurant chain, if she had worked, someone of that prominence had worked there, as a young woman, they'd have been putting that out.
So you would have seen the pictures. You would have seen the photo of Kamala.
Right, McDonald's would have been milking that.
100%. You would have seen that. So she makes this claim, and then people just decide to start saying, well, I don't think anybody doubted it at first.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah, and then somebody decided to say, well, seems like they'd have a record of that, and pushed it and looked, and I don't know if they had to do a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, on whatever, and it turns out apparently our vice president never worked at a McDonald's, which is weird. I guess I see why you do that, but of all the things to lie about,
Right. Why?
well, I read a funny
Right.
line
It's
that
like, oh,
says,
I'm undecided. Oh, she worked at McDonald's. That's it.
well, I read a line that somebody wrote saying, "How bad is your resume that you are lying about working at a McDonald's?" Um, so anyway, once that became out there, and here's the deal, and this is what's so weird about our country right now. And I don't know that it's better or worse, because in the old days they would say, like, oh, the days of Walter Cronkite and everything, and that dude was a liar too. He may have told the truth more than not, but he lied a lot. They all had agendas. They've always had agendas. For the most part, the media's always been lying. Okay. Go back to our mantra, folks. We've been telling you for 3+ years that they're all lying. But at least in those days, everybody was hearing the same stuff. Didn't have to be true, but you were hearing it. So if something was reported, pretty much everybody, you had to be living out in the sticks in the wood. Now, if you watch a certain channel or certain channels, you're going to be hearing entirely different news than other channels. Like the news is not so much even what's happening. It's what and forget the spin. They always put spin on it, but now it's just like what gets reported, what doesn't get reported. So from a political standpoint, if you want to show that your opponent lied about working at McDonald's, which I promise you this, if Trump would have lied
Oh, it would have been headlines.
about working at McDonald's, the world would know it. Okay, the world, they'd be running. That'd be the screen, the rolling
Yeah, the scroll on the bottom, the
scroll on the
car
bottom
traffic. Yeah,
would still be having,
they'd have talked to every current McDonald's employee in
Trump
the
caught in
country.
another lie, why this is so disrespectful to the fry cooks. I mean, it would have been okay. So the other side gets caught in the lie, and it becomes obvious that they're not going to talk about it. They're not going to, the networks are not going to give it any coverage. So what does Trump do? He makes a big deal of, he went work the fry. He made fries at McDonald's.
Right. He didn't just take orders.
That's right. He went in there with the suit, took his jacket off, put on the apron, and had somebody show him. And he
made a vat of grease.
He made fries, and he served meals out of the window. And then I think he leaned out at one point and 15 minutes in and told whatever the press was, I've now worked at McDonald's 15 minutes longer than Kamala. Did they ever decide exactly how do you say it?
I have no idea.
I swear I'll say it the approved way. I just don't know which it is. It's
yeah, I don't know.
I
was leaning in the past couple of weeks. You've been saying that, saying what the polls are showing, and I've been doubting it. I've been thinking, I don't know, I don't want to get my hopes up. But after watching, I watched a debate with Brett Baer.
Oh, that wasn't a debate. That was an interview.
I'm talking about the debate, the interview. Yeah. So the other media will tell you it was a debate.
Yeah.
After watching that, and after watching your boy Waltz attempting to load that shotgun.
So those of you that don't get the reference, vice presidential candidate Tim Walz, whatever, of Minnesota.
Yeah, he's every guy.
Dude's a governor.
He's a man's man.
By the way, he's a governor. That guy got elected to something. He's the freaking governor of one of the states of our country. Okay, so decides that, or he talks about hunting and pheasant hunting, quail hunting, whatever it is they do.
I think they went pheasant hunting, and it was acts like he does this event every year.
Shows up in the cleanest clothes. They may have taken those hunting outfit. They may have taken it out the box, the wrapper, and washed it one time to make it look right. but it became obvious this dude could not load his shotgun.
No, it looks like it never look. And I'm
Looked like
not a
he had
hunter.
it looked like he had never
I'm not
handled
a
a gun in
hunter,
his life.
but I guarantee you, I could go. Even after watching him try, I was all right. Well, you just put the shells right in that slot.
My problem, my biggest problem, is not that politicians lie. They all lie. Both sides, they all lie. Some are more heinous than others. Some are more, I don't know if heinous is the right word, but some are more gratuitous than others. Like bigger lies than smaller lies. They all lie. But I am so offended when you put little effort or thought into your lies.
Yeah.
Respect me enough to put a little effort into the lie. If I'm going to
And the whole
pretend,
thing, look, I could have bought into the fact, all right, this guy's a governor. Somebody's handing him a loaded shotgun. Nothing wrong with that.
exactly. Don't show yourself trying to load a gun. Don't, or whatever, or just don't do that. Right? Don't do that. You don't. And oh, by the way, the guys you're trying to bond with, you ain't getting the hunters.
All right.
Okay. You ain't. But so it's going to be interesting, and people watch various polls. The funny thing is now that America's is waked up, awakened, awoken, whatever the proper word is there, to the fact that most of the polls are crap. They're just absolute garbage. Polls are created more to try to influence opinion than to tell you what's actually happening. So more and more people are not even paying attention to the polls, and they're looking at other things. But something to watch. And this is where, look, I'm going to call it right now. And man, I hope there's nothing here, because idiot me. And it really wasn't my choice. It's business is business. And when somebody asks you to be somewhere, you got to be somewhere. You got a customer that wants you somewhere. That's where you go. Well, I am on a flight to Richmond, Virginia, which is basically DC. I mean, DC, Richmond, it's one of the, okay.
It's across the river.
The morning after the election. So there was,
wow.
I know. They will still be fighting and lying about.
Yeah, I was going to say, it won't be declared by then, unless, well, maybe it could be. I don't know. They'll find a way to.
Well, understand this, and this is when you just have to understand what's coming down, guys. Up until last time, we talked about this before. Never in our history had people stop voting. Right? I mean, I'm sorry, stop counting. Voting was done. Actually, no. There's probably a lot of voting happened even after. Is what many people suspect. They're not actually voting, but well, you if you know, you know. The Secretary of State of Michigan came out apparently today already saying, we're not going to have the count on election night. Georgia has already said, yeah, we're going to have about 75%, and we're going to be waiting for the overseas. Arizona is saying, yeah, we're not going to. So all of a sudden, it goes from a one-off. Nobody's looking for it. Nobody's expecting it. Just miraculously, 6 places stop counting at the same time. Go figure. And now they're calling their shots because they know people are going to be furious. Like it's.
Oh yeah, it's going to be scurrying.
It's coming to a head. It's coming to a head.
We said it here before. American Idol can count 75 million votes in a commercial break in real time. The United States government can't count in a week.
Third world countries on paper ballots have results that night. In history, whenever before even the machines, you voted by ballot, counted. Yeah. So look, whatever side you're on, because people may argue and have good arguments that it's all a power share, and that in some cases the cheat happens for the GOP, and in some cases the cheat happens for. I will go that far. I don't think either side is clean in any of this stuff, but I think you're an absolute. You're blissfully naive,
right?
If you think that there aren't really powerful forces that are playing around with, right?
Right. What they're doing now is they're lowering your expectations so they've got time to play.
And so we'll see. So America, we're gonna timestamp this. What is it? Sunday. What's today?
The 20th, October 20th.
Today's October 20th, year of our Lord 2024. So we are
2 weeks and 2 days before the election.
change and some change. I believe early voting starts in Texas tomorrow.
It started earlier this week in Louisiana.
Okay, so
I don't get unless I'm out of town or know I'm going to be out of town. I don't get the mad rush to early vote.
I never
A lot of
used to
people do.
be. I never used to be. I am now. I am now. I mean, I think we've seen. So if you possibly can, for those of you out there, if you're intending to vote, and you should, unless you're going to vote stupid, then don't do it. I mean, Juan and I have already expressed our opinion on this to you. We love our country. We love Americans, and if you're going to vote right, get out there and vote. If you're
You're
even
gonna
sitting
screw
there,
things up for the rest of us. Stay home.
let's put it this way: if you are one of them, the maybe 3 human beings in the country right now who is still undecided, stay home.
Yeah.
You're a high risk voter. Stay home. Don't. But it's interesting to see what some of the stats that come out, like in the state of Michigan right now. There are, is it a couple 100,000 more people on the voting ballots than there are people of legal age to vote. Okay. Let that sink in, folks. A couple 100,000 more, and I say a couple 100,000, it may be more than that, or it's a big number.
Right. It's significant in a state that's going to be close.
It's a big number of more. Virginia has a law about cleaning up their rolls, and they've always done it. When it's a Republican governor, a Democratic, they've always done it. This year, they're getting sued by our own government not to clean up the rolls. So at some point, you got to step back and say, now, hang on, y'all. Can't we put a little more effort into not looking like you're cheating? Like,
Yeah, there's no logical, nobody can explain it other than, it's Republicans trying to suppress the vote.
Well, you got to choose which it is, y'all. So it's either one side trying to repress or the other side trying to create. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get out there and vote this week. And
well, I did see that Elon Musk has some petition now that, and it seems pretty straightforward, says that you'll support the first, second, and fourth amendments, and everybody who signs the petition, their name goes in the drawing for $1 million a day.
And he at the rally he was at yesterday, I believe.
He gave the first
random
million.
guy, had no idea.
Yeah.
The dude just showed up at the rally to because part of it is Elon Musk is giving talks. And I got to be honest, okay, politics aside, and there's some politics in there, some good stuff coming up. He's actually pretty funny.
Look, I'm not, and we've talked about I'm not the electric car fan. I love some Elon Musk though.
He is funny. He started telling stories about some of his dealings with the government, like and just what they pulled off. And guys like us, and look, I'm not a physicist. I know that might surprise some of you out there. And I know I come off
physicist.
Yeah, I come off as a rocket scientist sometimes, but I'm not actually a rocket scientist. But what they pulled off about a week or so ago,
dude,
landing, they took a rocket because Musk is one of his things, and he's committed to get humans on Mars. He wears the shirt that say "Occupy Mars." One of his lines is, one of the things that's going to save the human race is occupy. So whatever. I hear stuff like that, and I think it's insanity. But then if you'd have told me that he could do the stuff he's done, I'd say, okay, at some point you say, well, maybe this guy can see stuff.
Yeah. With the rocket catching thing though.
But they put a rocket. I think it's the biggest, heaviest rocket ever launched. All right. And I've been to NASA here in Houston back when they told us we went to the moon. I think we can debate whether or not we did. And that's what I want to ask Elon. He's kind of quiet on that. Like if you told Elon Musk right now, okay, we need to go to the moon, I got a feeling he'd be like, well, here's some of the problems with doing that, but they don't want to push it. But there's massive
Right.
rockets. Okay. These things are huge. And apparently the one they put up in the air, it was about 30 stories high.
Yeah, and that's it. You got to watch. Don't just watch the video once it's slowed down. Go watch it once. You see it coming down at, I don't know what the speed of
It's
sound is, but it was
it's
half the speed of sound.
correct. It's coming in at several hundred miles an hour. And it starts firing rockets as it gets there and automatically adjusts. And the dang thing brings itself into this launch thing, and these arms are extended and it close and grab, and they catches the rocket.
Yeah.
And it's something he just thought of a few years ago, because I forget the whole reason why that is such a big game changer.
Well, for one thing, when you're doing space stuff, the rocket costs billions of dollars, I
Right.
would assume.
Nice to get it back.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a one time use deal,
Yeah. But
which is what they've always been.
so is that, and what's funny, I saw a clip from a few years ago when they were talking about doing this. And the big thing there was he was trying to figure out, he wanted to reduce some of the weight of the rocket. And one of the issues was going to be the legs. So that was the thing, is because the rocket needs legs. If you were just going to try to land it,
Right.
and I guess design wise, it would be tough. And if a leg gets damaged, you can't do it. And it was Elon that just thought, what if we get rid of the legs and just catch this thing? Right. Which everybody's like, catch it? The hell? How are you going to catch a rocket? And then he's talking about why they're doing it. And it's so funny because it's a great attitude. He said, but what could happen? And he says, well, success is one of the options.
Right. It's one of the, I love that. It's one of the possible outcomes.
That's right. And it was just sort of in a nonchalant.
Right. Hey,
Talking about,
it's costing me a nickel. It may come back.
that was just the best answer ever. Success is one of the possible outcomes. I'm like, dang. But in one of his speeches, he was talking about some of the stuff. They're ready to go. They thought they have the license to do this, and the government would make them come back with a study on what it would do if it hit when a rocket would hit a shark or hit sharks. They were afraid that it would hit sharks. Okay, so Elon said, "Okay, I thought that was a rather odd whatever." He says, "Okay, well, can you share? Okay, we can do. We know we were scientists. We can do this. Share the shark data. Give us the shark data, and we'll give you but they couldn't. They wouldn't.
No.
So he has to go through all kinds of things to figure out the likelihood of the dang thing hitting a shark. Okay, when it comes, and then they threw out a whale. They say, well, what about whales?
What about
And
minnow?
well, that's what he's saying. He's saying, well, he says, if you look out of the ocean, you don't see a lot of whales. So he says, if that rocket actually did hit a whale, that whale had it coming. It was his. It was his time. But anyway, the brilliance of what he's doing, as from the side of being a business person, is pointing out how absolutely insane.
Right.
The
Well, some people saying if Trump wins, that Elon's coming in to clean up regulations.
No, it's not. They say he said he will. He's already
Yeah.
accepted. He's already accepted and said, "Look, I'm what they did to Twitter. Well, now X got rid of like 80%. Now it's gonna be a little bit. It'd be a little bit more difficult because Twitter's a private. Well, not. I guess
Right,
technically
probably hell, but
private.
I did see something yesterday that people are complaining because apparently the AI on the the screen in a Tesla, when there's pedestrians crossing a walkway or crossing a road in front of you, all of their the avatars seem to be tall white men.
Okay. As opposed to now, what would they say if they were short black women?
Yeah, big butts.
No, you know what they would say? They would say, "Oh, are you
Yeah.
targeting? They're in a crosswalk. Are you targeting? What's the right answer? Should it be a multi?
Yeah, multi-ethnic.
I'll bet knowing, and I got to be honest, Juan. I don't even know to this day that I don't think I've ever sat in a Tesla, man. And
I've just the one time I talked about it, so.
And dude, they're everywhere here. Sugar Land, I live in Sugar Land, everywhere. I go to the gym.
I've been seeing a decent amount of
Of those freaking trucks.
here.
Yes. They're out there. They're. And hey, don't get me wrong. If you have one, more power to you. That thing is ugly. I'm sorry.
It's just weird and it's huge.
It's just not an. It's not an aesthetically pleasing.
And I
vehicle.
read something one time where somebody said, they got in like a fender bender, or I don't know how you get the fender bender in that thing, but just had minor damage on it. And
Oh,
it took like 6 to 8 weeks to get it fixed and an astronomical amount of money.
can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. So, whatever. But he's out there, and he is. I know we started down the path. I talked before about why Trump did the trolling thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's covering it, right? And the same thing with Musk. Musk is doing this survey, or this thing, this whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Draw-
but some petition or something.
So to draw attention to it,
Well,
giving
people
away
talked
$1 million
about,
bucks. He's giving away $1 million
right.
a day.
It's because they said at this point in the political race, the best thing you can do each day is win the news cycle. And they talked about, why would Trump go to speak at Madison Square Garden? Why would he go speak in California? Why would he go to all these places? And it's because he's going to win the news cycle.
Well, and also people, again, in deeper politics, California has a lot of Republican representatives. I mean, they're still, that's important.
Right. So they're doing some down ballots.
In fact, the only reason that the Republicans have the House right now, which not that they did anything with it, with the losers we have, but is New York. The guy who actually lost the governor's race in New York generated enough turnout that they won some seats up there. And
Yeah.
that's just how the game is played. And so we didn't want to turn this into Meet the Press today, but it's sort of that's the hot news out there, and that's the biggest thing going on right now is the election. I jotted something down here about a week or two ago, and it's been gnawing at me, and I'm not even sure we ever mentioned this, but when did Snoop Dogg become like Captain Kangaroo? Right,
dude, he's everything. He's everything, and he's everywhere.
I am so I'm done. I'm full of Snoop. Like, seriously, how lame is marketing today? How copycat are we now that, I guess, did all of a sudden we decide this guy is he's the proper amount of
He's about a hood and mainstream.
Well, go back and look at this guy. Look at what he said. Look at and don't get me wrong, this is America, but I'm all for that. You can be famous for.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something without saying who. You could probably think of it. He did a corporate event a couple of weeks ago for a company that I know some people work in Cancun.
I'm sure.
And I asked a friend. She got to meet Snoop. And she said, no, but I heard he was high the entire time he was here.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. Not on the same level, but Ice-T. Now, the rapper Ice-T is selling you some insurance and some, right?
He's selling you Kane's Ice-T, baby.
Some of that. Ice Cube. It's bizarre. And I get it. They all do their thing.
They said that a lot of the early rappers just wanted to be an entertainment. And that was a vehicle they took. There are people who will show you like Tupac videos that said, that Tupac, before he hit it, was the most non-gangster person.
Oh,
ever.
No, I've seen video.
Yeah.
Beyond non-gangster. I mean, like, you'd have thought
playing for the other team.
You'd have thought you'd have thought he was trying out for like a chorus line. I mean, no, I get it. But yeah, I just at some point, I'm in the grocery store. Snoop Dogg's face is on wine bottles.
Oh yeah, he's got a wine collection. But he's doing some stuff now with Patrick Mahomes, commercials with him, and it's everything.
Enough.
He's on what's the show that my friend's on? The Voice.
Is The Voice now?
Yep. My friend made it. He's on Gwen Stefani's team. So check out my friend on The Voice, Cozy Lynn. But Snoop's one of the judges on there.
There you go. Well, can we
funny.
get to?
He was funny on the Olympic coverage.
Okay. What else was going on this week? Oh, that's why I missed. I was in Mississippi.
Right. You did a presentation from a bar.
Then a bar. And it's actually, so it was technically a restaurant, a small, nice place. I'll give it a shot. I think it's Patio 44 or something. So those of you that find yourself in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, for whatever reason you may be in Hattiesburg, Mississippi still makes me shake my head, man. They got some, there's just some, I love it. Great people, man. Mississippi been very good to me for the past couple years, but they got some time capsule stuff going on. Now, look, I got no doubt. In parts of Louisiana, you drive into certain parts of Louisiana, and you'll say like, I think I went through a time warp. I think I'm right. Well, that's a good portion of Mississippi, but Juan, I got to be honest. I've had my third and maybe my final bad experience with a Wendy's Dave single, man.
Oh man,
what are they doing to those? Wendy's used to be, and I'm not, and then by the way, if you love Wendy's hamburgers out there, y'all, like my mom loves her a Wendy's baked potato. My mom, that's my mom. That's, so if anybody's visiting Thibodeau, swing by Wendy's. My mom loves her a Wendy's baked potato. But yeah, man, that's about the second of the last three. I don't even finish, and I was hungry, right? I was really living big, the glamour of travel. One mid-afternoon, I had an evening speech, and I don't like, now they were eating steaks, and they wanted me to eat, but I don't eat before right before I speak. I don't like eating. So I just grabbed me closest place to my hotel was a Wendy's. All right, pull in a Wendy's, and come on, they can't help. Didn't even finish it.
I went through yesterday a drive-through. I don't know why I was craving like a croissant, like a sausage or with bacon, a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant.
Because you're
Burger King.
sophisticated, man. You just got an all-V for croissants.
And we had my daughter's swim meet yesterday, so it was like 10 o'clock. And I said, all right, I can make it to Burger King on the way home before they stop serving breakfast. Dude, and I got it, driving down the road. Thing is so cold, the cheese is, forget melted. The cheese is cold.
Oh.
Yeah. And I even tried to tell her, let me take a bite on this other part of it over here. And it's like, nah, it's like, yeah, that's $6 I threw away when I got home. It's like, yeah, that's nasty.
Well, look, I don't want to say, I don't want to make this sound mean. I guess it's sort of, but I guess it's everywhere. But like I pull into that Wendy's, drive through. It's about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, I guess out of the lunch rush, but still, right?
Yeah, within the lunch window.
If you would, grab the phone and say, "Hey Alexa, give me the sound of indifference." that would have been the young lady's voice who took my order. And it's almost comical, man. Like I find myself in situations sometimes that I'm like, this could be a movie. Like if this was in a movie, I'm like, oh, they're playing this for effect. They're playing,
trying to see what you're doing. Yeah, got a camera on you.
I pulled up, it's like, you can order when you want. So I'm looking, like whatever. What size? What got a drink? Pull up. I mean, just like, and I made that warm. I made that like I was.
It's kind of the effect of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Bueller.
Now the young man who took the money, like the first window, whatever. And how I'm going to say that this was like, don't judge books, okay? So the young man looked like when he opened the window that he wasn't what I expected, right? He looked like he and he was real, talking friendly and wished me a blessed day. Wasn't looking for that. What? You know what I'm saying? You're just dealing with certain people.
Might not have been the guy giving the order though, or taking the order.
No. It was some disinterested girl that took the order. This guy was doing something else. But let me just say that he presented himself in a way and with certain jewelry on and certain things to be a guy that if I encountered walking to my car, I'd have been a little alert. You know what I'm saying? He sort of, and that's just like maybe that's like a fashion thing, people dress a certain, right? And, real nice. And then like, you have a blessed day. And I went, Get out of here. You too, bro. You bless you too, bro. Bless you too. Where's that disinterested girl? Bring her out here. Throw some. But when I went to check into my hotel, so it's a look, man. I'll give it out. It's a Hilton Garden Inn in Hattiesburg. Hilton Garden Inns used to be nice, I guess, sort of, kind of. What you do is you normally, if you travel a lot, you wait until somebody announces a major remodel, or sometimes they come out with a new chain. Like I can remember, I've been traveling long enough. I remember when Hampton Inns were new.
Oh
I remember,
wow.
I remember when Hilton rolled out the Hampton Inns. Man, you wanted to stay at Hampton Inn because those were great. I remember Courtyards. I remember when
Mhm.
Marriott rolled out the Courtyards, and then it was Fairfield Inns. And even though it's a little lower, whenever they're low, when they put the new stuff out, that's where you want to be. Well, I go to check this Hilton Garden Inn. It didn't say on the online, oh, we are remodeling now. So I mean, it's
Oh
like a
wow.
construction site. I walk into the place. The young lady is not behind the counter. She's sitting like off in the distance doing something on her phone. And I walk up and I walk up to the counter, and then I look over, and then she looks up from her phone, then looks down, then looks up, then slowly starts walking my way. Cause I didn't even know she worked there, dude. Like that's how, and I'm like, hi. She says, can I help you?
That's I'm telling you, those are the type of instances where I'll say, "I'll wait. You go ahead and finish what you're doing, because obviously
I,
it's more important than this."
so I was just, yeah, I'm, checking in. She went, hmm, um, well, I'm not sure. We had a lot of people check out today, and to me, well, that means there are rooms. Um, and we got all this construction stuff going on. How does that affect me? I don't know. And we're a little short staffed.
Again,
And hey, man, we're talking like it's like 1:30, quarter to 2. I mean, check-ins at 3,
yeah.
supposedly. And I get it. But dude, unless you're in the big city and major conference stuff, so I say, she gave him my name. She says, yeah, no, your room's not ready. I said, I got a room. I said, I got a room. Like you got me down. Like, did you guys decide this one? I would start again. I said, so you guys just like woke up this morning and said, hey, this is Dave's room.
We got 20% occupancy here.
Right. This day, and she says, no. Well, she said, well, she says, I don't know if we have anything available. And I just looked at it. I said, I bet you do. I bet you do. I bet you in this hotel, there's a room right now that I don't care if it's a king, a double. I don't care what the view is. I don't care what floor it is.
Just need a bed and a toilet.
So she starts, okay, I can get you a room. Do you mind being on the 4th floor? I said, before I answer that, does your elevator work?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Sounds like you got my room.
Yeah.
Sounds like that's my room. I mean, but I mean again, Alexa, show me the face of indifference.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put it in the podcast. I took a picture of another time. I came down. She's behind the desk, looking down at the phone, never looked up. Never looked up.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The world's too tolerant. I guess you are what you tolerate. So I should have given a face of indifference a week or so ago. I was going to talk about this last week when my wife was out of town and my daughter. So I went. It was the night they were coming back, but they weren't flying back till like 10 o'clock at night or something. So I went and I said, "All right, I'm gonna go grab a drink at a little restaurant down the road that's got a yeah." So, I was gonna eat at the bar. So went there,
This is
had a
in New
drink,
Orleans.
no, this is in Baton Rouge, just
Okay.
near my house. But some random guy walks in, you know, sits on the side of me. I just kind of, hey, how's it going? The dude says, "You mind if I ask you a question?"
Yes, I do.
And that's what I should have said. I should have said that. Just goes off and he said, "So this girl that I work with, she like let her boyfriend know that she just wasn't ready for a long-term relationship, that she wasn't interested." And now a month later he's texting her back, and she said, okay, she'll meet up with him. Yeah, I just don't get that. I just don't get that. And what do you think? And I said, I think you like the girl.
Thank you. Yeah.
No, 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 man, no, it's not like that.
So you just sat down next to a total stranger
Right,
at a bar and start telling a story about somebody you don't like.
right. And
How
he
old
said
was this guy?
early 30s. And he said,
Okay.
well, I just think she's immature and relationship immature. And yeah, I said, how old is she? 22. I said, well, she's probably just immature because she's young. And I said,
Brain's not fully formed yet,
right. I still go back to I think you like her.
which is kind of
Cool,
skeezy
man.
now. Kind of
No.
skeezy now. If you said he's in his, I mean, don't get me wrong. Later in life, like you can be 50 and be with a 40-year-old man. That's like 5 days different. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
You 32 with a 22?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But then he says, then he progresses to I just don't get her. Like the other day, she had some leftovers. She brought some. She told me she had extra for me. And why would she say that? Like, in other words, like she was flirting with him because she had
Dude,
leftovers.
do me a favor whenever, because you apparently you I think way more than me look like the kind of guy people just want to share.
Dude, whoever would have been sitting there, he'd have
For,
shared with.
next time, just reach to your phone and just say, listen, all I'm going to ask
Yeah.
you
I
is that
should have
if
threw some sign language at the dude or something.
no, if you're just going to say, listen, if you're going to burden me with these things, I'm at least going to record this. I'm going to use this. I, I am going to
Get some
share
audio with
this.
this
I'm going to share this with
podcast.
America and the Dave and Juan podcast. Because yes, you totally don't care about somebody that you want to tell
Yeah.
me
Yeah. Can I ask you something?
you should have leaned in. Well, that she does sound immature. She thinks she brought you some leftovers, and then she's still going to meet up with her
Yeah.
ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. Bruh, she's giving mixed signals. She must just be looking for it.
I read something. I don't know how many young men out there listen to us. They should. This is a. I mean, we'll help polish you up, guys. But I read a good line the other day. I was on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and it was some, I don't know. I don't do research on who it was. It was a woman of, I don't know what her background was or whatever. But the line was basically to young men, basically saying, hey, just so you know, the world right now is full of women that are out there looking for somebody to talk to them. Like they're waiting for guys to walk up and talk to them. And I'm thinking, yeah, well, y'all kind of did that.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, well, it is. It is if a guy wants to do that. But the flip side is I think they've also beaten young men to the point of, why bother?
Yeah. Um,
Why bother?
it's
Yeah.
now going back to Trump gave a good line at that Al Smith dinner the other night when he said, I heard there's a group called White Dudes for Kamala. And he said, we don't worry about them though, because all their wives and all their wives' lovers are voting for me.
Yeah. The line's supposed to be their wives and their wives' boyfriends. Lovers made it a little skeezier. Of course, he also pulled this in Latrobe, Pennsylvania yesterday. And and don't get me wrong. Far be it from me, people run the campaigns and they do what they do. And he's apparently doing very, very well. But he's done various podcasts in the past few weeks, and he comes off, I mean, just that's the venue. He comes off fantastic in these podcasts with people that are engaging. And what happens is they also keep him focused and keep him on topic.
Yeah.
He gets up there in Latrobe, Pennsylvania yesterday. I don't know if you saw this.
Mm-mm.
And it's one of those, he started because he's an entertainer, right? And he just, once he starts getting a couple giggles and it's about to get, it's about to get a little iffy when he kind of leans. Like it's almost like he's sort of like, it's like he's propped up on the bar and he starts. Well, Latrobe, Pennsylvania, probably the most famous person to come out of Latrobe is Arnold Palmer. All right. The famous golfer, Arnold Palmer. And again, he's probably, I'm willing to bet he's synonymous with Latrobe, if you know, and he was just, everybody loves Arnold. And Arnold was a big, muscular guy. And, and that's the line, I mean, because I think he was trying to talk about, what this country's like, what Latrobe is like, and, men are men and whatever. And then he starts talking about either personal knowledge or what his dad told him or whatever about Arnold. And Arnold's a big muscular guy, and then it said, other golfers when they sometimes they showered at the same time as Arnold. They were like, whoa, can you believe that? And then he didn't. And he probably spent the next 15 seconds saying, I know I love ladies. I don't want to offend anybody, but yeah, it's true. Arnold was. And I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah, way to go for the women vote.
2 weeks out of an election. Why are you standing there waxing philosophic on Arnold Palmer's manhood? But and that's one of those cases of there'll be other people, oh, it's funny. To me, I was like, no, that's dumb. That's dumb, man. Don't do that. Don't give the people that are warming up to you, the people that are like,
Yeah, don't give them a cringe moment.
yeah, I used to like it when I could afford to live and we weren't at war in 3 or 4 different places. And I used to like it when people weren't arrested because of what they thought or said. But no, he's making inappropriate comments in front of people now. So
yeah. So we're talking about podcasts. Do you think Kamala's going to do Rogan, or did he even invite her?
I don't know. Not a chance. Not a chance. Zero chance. Zero chance. A 20-minute softball interview with Brett Baer, who could not. I mean, the dude, he could have bubble wrapped that interview and not made it. All they want to say about pushback, no, it was
he just kept trying to get an answer.
It was incredibly, but the best line there was when she said something about, well, you know what I'm saying. He's like, no, I really don't.
I don't.
That was one of the and just legit answer, but that was
well, after though he talked about that, she was supposed to be there. They had like a 5 o'clock start time.
Showed up late.
Showed up about 15 minutes late, and then they already started hinging. Well, maybe we got 10, 15 minutes, and giving them a hard rap like 10 minutes in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's the game they play. The other one is so RFK Jr. Now I've seen more and more of the "Make America Healthy Again" stuff. Like they're basically saying, and he's calling it out. Trump's saying, "Hey, man, what I love, he's coming in like the Avengers now. I'm putting Elon in charge of this. I'm gonna let Tulsi Gabbard be on defense. I'm gonna have RFK." But he was funny at this dinner. He said, "I'm gonna let him go crazy, and I'm probably gonna have to reel him in a little bit because he does have some wacky ideas." But just totally, I mean, he says what he says. But I do actually like the focus they're putting on all the crap that's in our food. And dude, I'm like, look, man, we've, you and I are about the same age. We've been on this planet longer than we have left. Okay. So I'm fortunate that we've made it this far.
Wow. Thanks for.
Oh, dude, come on. Think about that all the time, dude. Middle age. Really? You think I'm going to make it to 115?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
124, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but now, and my wife's been always a little interested in this, but she has become obsessed reading labels. And there's sometimes I just don't want to know. But she's trying to, heaven help us, we're going to end up being whole food shoppers. Now you talk about expensive.
Yeah.
Good grief. I hope we don't go that far, but we, and with all the stuff, right? With all she's all reading all the labels now. And, can you believe what's in? And as soon as she says that, I'm like, no, honey, I can't believe what, apparently there's gum in a lot of stuff. They put gum, a certain kind of gum. Yeah, I guess it's for texture and I guess to solidify stuff. And, food is not meant to sit packaged as long as it does. So they put stuff in there. But all that said, I guess in a weak moment, she came home the other day with a pack of the, not the candy corn, but the candy pumpkins. Right.
Oh, see, that's worse than candy corn to me. I got a bag of candy corn sitting downstairs. The candy pumpkins, because it's so much. It's like
okay.
It's just much bigger.
A serving size of the candy pumpkins, and these are Brock's. Yeah, Brock's. Shout out to Brock's. Good ones. Those are the good ones. Oh, my wife doesn't skimp on the crap when she's gonna buy. So a serving size is 4 pumpkins. Right? 4. 120 calories. So, do the math. It's 30 calories per. And you're thinking like, well,
2 bites.
Well, oh no, you could do that way. But I was looking. So here's what's in a candy pumpkin. Whatever. So what do you think the first ingredient is?
Got to be sugar.
Yeah, thank goodness, right? But then the second ingredient is corn syrup. Like, don't they do the same thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you have so?
But they're probably using granular sugar and then the syrup to hold it together.
So when
So the
you
first
first,
ingredient is pure sugar. The second ingredient is a different kind of sugar.
and that's when you start dealing with the corn syrup and what's the other one? The high, oh, what's the big one?
Probably
Fructose.
some kind of high fructose.
Ooh, that one's that's the bad one. That's the one is taboo in ours. But sugar, corn syrup, and then it contains 2% or less. Now I don't. Now here's the deal: 2% or less. You would think that means, oh, all of these things, it's under 2% of. No, 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 no. Each of these ingredients could be up to 2%. You got salt. Okay, salt's fine. Confectioner's glaze. And in parentheses, shellac. Okay.
Put a little shine on there, man.
Okay. Gelatin. Okay. Honey.
But it's not
Honey.
gelatin. I'm not thinking it's like Jell-O.
No, apparently not. Just Gelatin. Gelatin. That must be
Yes,
sort of like gum.
that's what holds it together. I think
I
that's
guess.
the gelato. Yeah.
So it was sugar and then corn syrup and and then honey, because apparently we didn't have enough, right? Next one is dextrose. Isn't that kind of like sugar?
I got dextrose glucose, which in glucose is sugar.
Then it's yellow number 6.
Of course.
Sesame oil, artificial flavors. Doesn't get in specific what kind of artificial flavors.
Mambo
Red dye number
5.
3, yellow dye number 5, blue dye number 1. And that was it. So, and now they're coming out with how bad these dyes are for us. We always took this crap for granted. And it's kind of stupid on our part, right? To just think, it's like the big thing right now with Fruit Loops. Like Fruit Loops in other countries, they can't put some of the colors in.
Yeah, because of dye.
Because they found like, oh, that stuff's really not good for you. And it's especially bad for children. Well, it's a good thing that,
the Fruit Loops, I'm pretty sure the orange one tastes just like the yellow one, tastes just like the blue one, tastes just like the red ones.
Yeah. But so those dyes are terrible for you, and especially for children. But good thing children don't eat cereal, right?
Well, I think that's, when you start talking about, and I know we're getting towards the end, can't go down that rabbit hole. But when we were kids, there wasn't nobody allergic to peanut butter or to peanuts or.
Well, listen to what RFK Jr. says. He says all these allergies are coming from two things. One, again, these are theories, but they need to be looked at. One is all the increased vaccinations we take. That's out there. Not saying that's one thing to be looked at, and the other is all the crap they put in the food.
Right, preservatives, stuff that can last forever.
That's the clearest shot in the world.
Corn if it wasn't yellow, orange, and
white. You look at random pictures at the beach, in stores, and whatever from the 70s. And it looks like another, forget another time. It looks like another race, human race.
Another age group. It looks like, nobody had dad bods.
Yep. You had to work hard for it back then. Now it's easy. It's easy to get a dad bod. Hey, here's one more great piece of information for you, Juan, if you want to feel good about our country. It's one of these things you read, and you got to look back and read again to see if I read that right. In 1979, United States of America, of people over 14 years old. Okay. So, like starting high school, basically, or high schools. 1979, 1% of this country was illiterate. 1%. Today, right? Today, 16% of Americans above 16 are illiterate.
Wow.
Okay. Hey, you want to know what's better? 19% of high school graduates are illiterate.
And let's say if we pull out the Asians and the Indians, that number probably goes a lot higher.
A little bit. But so let's I wonder how many educational tax reform tax increases I got on my ballot. I'm bad now. I go to vote, dude. I don't even read whatever the bond, whatever. No, I've turned into that guy. Nope.
Yeah, I'll vote for like the fire department. That's about it. Anybody, another library, Baton Rouge is the most over-libraried and over-parked community for a bunch of illiterate fat people.
I thought that was Golden Corral.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too.
That's a mean joke. That's nothing against go. Man, shout out Golden Corral. I didn't shouldn't have said that. But you know what, man? That's about it. Talking about Golden Corral, the buffet has been laid before the folks.
Right
It's
there.
there.
All you can eat.
I didn't even get a chance to tell you about the fact I was going to the airport the other day behind a tanker truck. You know what that tanker truck was carrying? Dude, molten sulfur.
Oh,
You give a little space to that.
yeah. That's where you really want to stay 300 feet or more.
I was just, that was a very specific, like, man, that's a molten sulfur truck.
Yeah, pretty much could kill you.
Do what you're going to do. I don't even care if you use your blinkers, dude. Do what you're going to do. But anyway, buffets in front of you guys. We're going to push the button, see if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tape in the sky. If you want to reach us, not that hard to find. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. And of course,
right here.
Wherever you at, wherever
That's
you
where
at,
we are.
do it again. And we're probably going to we're going to try really hard
Yeah. We'll
to
be
get
back
one.
next week, bro.
Probably do it. Probably. Well, now the Texans do have a home game on Sunday.
Yeah, it's all right. We can do it in the evening. I'm all right.
I don't know. I might just do it on Saturday. Let's try to do it on Saturday.
Fine, dude. I'm around.
Yeah, because man, those post tailgating, that's
Too old for that.
I know. My wife says, well, you know, it sounded fine. Yeah, it didn't feel fine. I can't even tell you what we talked about. I'm just like, hey, what's up, America? But all right. Every week we tell you. Actually, we told you 2 weeks ago. Again, my bad. We weren't here to tell you last week, but we hope after 180 something, however many of these things we've done, even if you don't hear us tell you each week, you know that it's not a suggestion, a hint, or a subtle implication. It is a freaking
mandate.
Mandate. Live your best life. Give it your best shot, y'all. You may fall down, get back up. Don't be like the Saints on Thursday night.
No. Fall down and stay down.
Woo.
That's what they did.
Woo. Man, they fell down and made a hole.
Come on, jump in there with me.
Man. Yeah, don't do that. So if you saw the Saints game on Sunday, do the opposite of that. And yeah, live your best life. Have a great week. And hopefully we'll get back together next week and we'll compare our notes and do all that stuff and have fun with it. So until then, you guys have a great one. Be careful out there. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. So in the local news this week, he said that I don't know, private schools tend to have different titles for their principals, but I'll just call them the principal because that's what I call them. So the principal at one of the more well-known and well-respected private schools here in Baton Rouge put in his resignation effective immediately.
Immediately.
Like, all right. Then all the way so no reason was given or anything. The next day it came out. It said no crimes were committed. So yesterday my daughter had a swim meet and I'm timing at the swim meet, and one of the last races was a relay team, and in my lane was the team from that school. So I said, all right, I'm asking. So I said, hey fellas, what happened to your principal? And one of them says, oh, we're not supposed to talk about that. And the other one, another dude says, yeah, we can't talk about that. I said, well, that's exactly why you're going to tell me. So he let me know that he had apparently improper relations with a teacher. And I asked if the teacher was female. And they concurred that it was.
It was.
Yeah. So I said, all right, go focus on your swimming now. I got what I needed.
Browbeating young men getting ready to swim.
Exactly. Yeah. Said, hey man, give me some info. I might cut some time off you.
Yeah. No laws were broken.
No laws were broken. Just the laws of morality.
A lot of morals.
that this school really pushes.
Morals, discretion. Yeah, We broke the hell out of all that, but
Yeah,
no,
it
no
was a
actual laws.
religious-based private school. So
It's over. Go home.